friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Tori. Guys, are we overcomplicating, overhyping, and gatekeeping or deifying our favorite series? Let's talk about it. So I've been around Booktube for a long time, and I have noticed over the years that there's a very specific kind of passion that comes along with loving our favorite series and authors and books. And sometimes I feel like we do a massive disservice to the series that we love because we tend to go overboard. And I wanted to talk about 3 specific areas where I feel like this happens all the time in the book community and just get a discussion going. I'm going to bring up 3 main ones. We're going to talk about overhyping, we're going to talk about overcomplicating, and we're going to talk about gatekeeping / deification. Because I feel like the real question here is, when does our excitement and passion for the series that we love cross a line? And I have thoughts on that, but let's start with overhyping. Overhyping is something that I think is very natural for the book community to do. And it's not just the book community, right? Anytime anyone really enjoys something, or it means a lot to them, or they just have had the best time with it, it's so infectious that we want to just tell everyone about it, and we want them to have the same amazing experience that we did. So I feel like for the most part, overhyping actually comes from a place of really positive intention, where people are just so excited to share things that they love, which is awesome. Don't stop doing that. But I want to talk a little bit about, I think, where overhyping starts to become a little bit toxic and how maybe we can reverse that. If a friend of mine says that they're gonna start Red Rising or the Malazan Book of the Fallen, I get that kind of nervous, giddy excitement where I really hope they're gonna like it. I don't know, but I really hope so, because I want them to have a fantastic experience with some of my favorite books. I look forward to hearing their thoughts. I want to be able to discuss it with them. It's a great time. But I think it's very easy to go from heightened excitement to overhyping, and where that becomes, it kind of trespasses on their experience with the book. When we overhype something, it's almost like we're trying to take our experience and like cover theirs up before they've even had a chance to have one.
I beg your pardon, madam, but get off!
I have actually started putting some distance between the time when I announce or talk about being excited to read something and actually reading it. As a content creator, whenever I put out into the internet that I'm interested in reading a series or I'm hoping to read a series soon, there's a flood of comments about people being really excited about it, people going, oh, I really don't think you're gonna like that, or whatever. Even if people haven't read the series, they have oftentimes strong opinions about it. And so I've tried to actually separate those 2 events a little bit, because for myself, I really like being able to hear everyone's opinions and hear what you guys liked and disliked about a series. I love that discussion, but I also want to be able to have my own experience with it. Giving it that space to rest has actually been really beneficial for me in the past couple of years, because I want everyone to be able to talk about their excitement or their lack of excitement and their opinions about it, and then also have some time to kind of declutter the mental noise so that I can go into the series and just have my own fresh opinion about it. And look, I'm not here to say that I don't want to hear you guys' opinions about the books that I'm reading. If I didn't, I wouldn't be a content creator. That's part of why I do what I do, because of hearing from you guys and being able to share in that discussion. But sometimes it can get so overwhelming, especially now that we have a really big, amazing community here on the channel, and everybody's got so many things to share, and I love that. It's a lot, right? And it's a lot just being in the book community. Even if you're not a creator, it can feel very overwhelming when you are surrounded by a plethora of opinions all the time. The other thing that overhyping does that I feel like is a very common experience is that it puts unrealistic expectations in place. And I'm going to say something that's probably going to trigger every single fandom at the same time. Are you ready for this? You ready? Okay, lean in. Okay, this is important. There's no such thing as a perfect book. There's no such thing as a perfect series. I'm so sorry. And beyond that, not every book is going to work for every reader, which is like, duh, right? We've talked about this. But I think it bears repeating just because it's something that I even forget sometimes, where somebody will read something that I really love and didn't have a great experience with it, and there's a little part of me that's like, but why not? And this is why I typically don't just blanket recommend my favorite series to anybody who's looking for a new book to read. I know that my favorite series are my favorite, but I also know they might not be your favorite. So I'm a lot more interested in asking people what kind of books they've really been loving recently, or what kind of mood they're in, or what their favorite series are, because that's going to give me a better gauge of whether or not my favorite series are going to fit into that recommendation slot, because I want them to have a 5-star experience, right? I want to give people recommendations that they will get really excited about and love. And to do that, I want to make sure that I'm recommending them something that fits, generally speaking, within the realm of what they like. I don't want to shove a series at you only because it's my favorite series. And I already can see a lot of you guys tongue-in-cheek down in the comments talking about how you absolutely want to shove your favorite series at people. I get it, trust me. We've all been there, right? But I do think that it's important to know who you're recommending the series to before you recommend it. Besides that, overhyping can go hand in hand with the third issue we're going to talk about, so let's put a pin in that for a minute and come right back to it. But first, let's talk about issue number 2, which is overcomplicating our favorite series. And guys, I am a fan of Malazan Book of the Fallen, and I know a thing or two about a fandom overcomplicating a book series, okay? So let's talk about this, because I don't know that there is a fantasy series out there that gets overcomplicated as much as this one does. Hey guys, Editing Tori here. I just wanted to say really quickly, because I want to catch this before it happens in the comments. I'm not saying that Malazan Book of the Fallen as a series isn't complicated. I'm talking about overcomplicating the reading experience itself. But I see this all the time, especially with fans who've read the entirety of something, the whole series, all the books, all the novellas, or whatever, and then they descend on new readers like vultures, where somebody's picked up like Gardens of the Moon or whatever other book won for the first time, and they're fresh into the world and they're fresh into the experience, wide-eyed, and the vultures descend. And people are just immediately telling them how to read the series, and oh, you gotta make sure that you don't miss this, this, and this, and here's a whole bunch of resources for you just in case you did miss all of the things, and here, let me explain everything to you ahead of time so that you're getting a head start. Guys, chill out, okay? Like, I know it's so exciting when new people are picking up our favorite series for the first time, and that's awesome, and we love to bring in new people to the fandom. But I think too often, so many of us forget what it was like to be reading the first book, when we didn't have all of the experience, when we didn't know all of the things. And I think that we don't honor that space as much as we should, because I know a lot of us would say that we would give anything to go back and reread our favorite series for the first time, to experience our favorite moments with our favorite characters for the first time again. That's such a almost sacred experience, and I feel like we're all too eager to rush new readers through that. And I don't think that that's a good thing. I think that we should take a breath and we should step back and we should allow them to get through the series at whatever pace is right for them. Now, of course, if they're really confused and they're like, hey guys, I don't know what's going on, I'm super confused, need a little help here, please, by all means, then come in with your stacks of notebooks and give them some resources to help them out, because then they're asking for it, right? But I have just seen this happen so many times when people start reading a new series and the veterans of the story come out of the woodwork to tell them all the things. I know we're excited, but guys, we need to just like tone it down a little bit. An example of that, again, going back to Malazan, is that when I started reading Gardens of the Moon, I was 21, I was in college, I had no idea that there was any kind of book community. I was just reading it on my own. This was the third epic fantasy series I had ever read, and I had no freaking clue what was going on, you guys. I had no idea. However, I still loved the book. Did I catch everything? Absolutely not. I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on. And I still loved it. I still moved on to book 2, and it became one of my favorite series of all time, despite the fact I still haven't even finished the series yet. So I'm just saying, if I can do it, if I can fall in love with the series with that little book community behind me, I think they're gonna be okay. If it's for them, they're gonna fall in love with it. If it's not, that's okay. If new readers just want to jump into your favorite series, tell them to have the best time and step out of the way. Now remember how I said that there was an issue that walks hand in hand with overhyping, and we were going to talk about it in a minute? We're going to pull that push pin back out and we're going to talk about it. Gatekeeping and deification. Like I said before, there is no perfect book, there's no perfect series, there's no perfect author. I know, I'm shocking everyone. I even did a whole video on the deification of authors because it's such a huge issue for me that I see all the time. So if you want to go watch that, it's up here in the cards. Overhyping a series can definitely come with a good amount of deification. And that's the part that I feel like kind of hovers over the shoulders of new readers to a series that can be really detrimental. And deification comes with a lot of hyperbolic language. It's not just my favorite series, it's the best series ever written. This is the best book you'll ever read. And guys, again, I get it, we're passionate, that's great. And while that might be true for me reading my favorite series, that's a lot of high expectations to put on the next reader. This further becomes a problem when we read something that's been really hyped up by the book community and then we don't have the same kind of experience as it seems like everybody else does. And that can feel really disappointing, and it can feel like we're kind of on the outside of things, which again isn't necessarily a problem. Having different opinions about popular book series is great. I have a lot of them, and a lot of my friends have a lot of them, and I think that difference of opinion, like I've said in so many videos before, is a really good thing, and it's healthy for the book community to have a whole smorgasbord of opinions on every one of the series we talk about. But the real problem with this issue comes in when we share those opinions with the rest of the book community and the deification comes into effect. And that typically comes in the form of comments like, well, you just didn't read it right. That's just a wrong opinion. The author put that in the book intentionally, so really it's a user error. Now obviously I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Not all of us are going to put very direct comments like that, but these are comments that I'm pretty sure most of us have heard on our opinions about whatever series. And this is something we see in the book community, but to be completely honest, it's an issue with our society in a lot of ways where we've kind of lost the skill set to be able to disagree without disrespect. And understanding that disagreement doesn't mean disrespect. And I think that that's a life lesson that, again, the book community can teach us, just like a lot of other things that books can teach us. And that's one of the reasons why we love books as much as we do, right? Because they have such a powerful impact on us in so many different ways. And I think they allow us the opportunity to practice a lot of these larger skill sets out in life, which maybe gets a little deep, but I think it's worth mentioning. So be passionate about your favorite series, you guys. Talk about them, get excited about them, but also realize that every reader is going to have a different experience than you are. Every person's going to bring their own perspective, their own set of life experiences into their reading, and that's a great thing because that allows us to have such a diverse discussion about all of our favorite series. I see these 3 issues around the book community all the time, and I've been guilty of all 3 of these, so don't feel like I'm trying to call anybody else out, because hi, it's me. But I do think that it's something that I constantly come back to and think about, and I'm trying to find ways to articulate how to approach sharing our favorite series with other people and being excited and passionate about them, but also making sure that we're honoring the other person's experience with them as well. So anyways, that's what I had to say today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Once again, please go down in the comments below and let me know what you think about this topic and if you have anything to share. Also, check my description box. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Check out all of my social media links down below and links to my books if you want to check them out. And yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening and for always sharing such amazing thoughts in the comments of these topic videos. I think we have some of the coolest discussions. Honestly, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to my rambling. Once again, I hope that you're having a fantastic week. I hope that you've been able to recommend your favorite series this week. I hope that you are also reading a new favorite series. And I will see you in the next video.